Hey folks, Joshua Flournoy here, licensed Iowa and Missouri realtor and land specialist. I wanted to do a quick video here talking about some of the reasons you shouldn't use a residential realtor to sell land, even if the land has a house on it. Now this video is not meant as a slight against residential realtors, but they specialize in selling homes, not land, and those are two very different things. Now, I sell plenty of pieces of land that have homes on them, but I specialize in selling land, and that's the key distinction. If you need a cow butchered, do you consider a professional butcher and a flower florist to provide the same level of service and expertise for that job simply because they both use sharp tools at their work? No, of course not. Now the same is true of the distinction between residential realtors and land specialist realtors. The straight up truth is that the average residential realtor just doesn't have the tools, the technology, the knowledge, or the marketing skills and know-how to create a proper land listing and market it effectively to the potential buyers for that type of property, which are usually a very different type of buyer than someone who's looking for a home in a populated area or neighborhood. Also, most residential realtors do not pay to advertise their listings on the most popular land websites like the land.com network of sites, which I pay a lot of money for straight out of my pocket every year to advertise my land listings on, because that's where a lot of people are who are looking for land naturally. As a land agent, my land listings, they're still going to appear on realtor.com, Zillow, Trulia, and most of the other places that residential listings will appear, but the residential realtor listings very often will not have their listings on the land.com network of sites, or not in higher quality positions further up on the first page of results anyway. And having a very visible listing for your land on land-specific advertising sites is very important if you're trying to sell land. Now here are some other important reasons to use a land specialist to sell land. The average residential realtor is not going to own their own high-quality drone, or any drone probably, to take high-quality aerial photos and videos of the property. I can't stress enough how important this is from a marketing standpoint for land listings. Now I have a professional drone, and I've spent a massive amount of time and effort learning not just how to use it, but how to use it properly and effectively to best advantage for marketing my land listings. High quality, detailed maps are also very important for land listings. Aerial boundary maps, soil maps, conservation reserve program maps, flood zone maps, topographical maps. I pay good money out of my pocket every year to have access to build these kinds of specialized maps for my land listings. These types of maps are rarely applicable for residential listings, so most residential realtors not only don't know how to build these maps for a land listing, but they won't even have access to these services through their residential brokerage. Now, I saw a land listing not too long ago done by a residential realtor, and the mapping for the listing was so poor that I literally could not find an aerial photo of the property boundary outline on the listing anywhere, or even where in the county the property was located. I couldn't find a parcel map or number or anything. If you're the seller, that is not what you want for your land listing. I pay extra for the ability to make these specialized maps for my seller's listings, but I don't charge you as the seller extra for that service. Land-related knowledge is also critical for a quality land listing. Crop and farming knowledge, conservation reserve program knowledge, survey knowledge and contacts, electric and rural water availability, property access information, return on investment calculations. And then if you're selling hunting land, then hunting knowledge as the listing agent is very important also. The types of land photos that hunters want to see, trail camera photos, water sources, food plot locations and information, deer kill history information, wind direction, morning and evening hunt access locations, and just general hunting knowledge. Now, the average residential realtor isn't going to know how to describe hunting land in a way that is attractive to and expected by a buyer who is a hunter. There are more reasons to use a land agent to sell land, but this is a pretty good overview of some of the most important reasons. And all of this goes for buyer's agents also, not just listing agents. If you're buying land, don't use a residential realtor as your buyer's agent, because if you do, you're selling yourself short. You need a buyer's agent to represent you who is experienced with land transactions. if you're using a buyer's agent instead of going directly through the listing agent. So to summarize, it's in your best interest as a seller to sell your land with a listing agent who's a land specialist like myself. If you use a residential realtor, then you're really missing out on having the most effective type of land listing for your money. Now, that's not to say that all land specialist agents are the same, because they're definitely not. But even the most minimally skilled land specialist agent is usually going to do a better job of putting together a listing for your land than a residential realtor is. Now, if you want to list your land with someone who's going to put maximum detail and information and effort into creating a high quality land listing for you, feel free to give me a call or text at 641-203-9427, and I'll be happy to talk to you about your land. Happy to come out and do a free evaluation of your land and talk to you about the value of your land in the current market. Well, that's all for this video today. Hope this information has been useful to you, and y'all have a great weekend.